Hello, my name is Kabi, and on this channel I'm gonna share my games of the brand new mobile RTS called War Legends with pretty much everyone who's willing to watch. The game is currently being in the closed beta, which means that it is available in the certain regions and certain countries. And as per right now, it has the English interface already, but still Russian sounding, so don't be confused with that. It will be added a little bit later when the game will be expanded to more regions, which will happen apparently around the new year, as the game devs say. And in this particular game I am playing light against dark, so we have an unmirror matchup. I guess we might call that. I'm starting in the bottom right corner with the blue color and building my first barracks and go up to, let me calculate really quick, up to 8 workers before I have the barracks. Then I hire my swordsman and build up a farm to get more food and be able to work with more units. So my first swordsman is ready. I'm gonna send him out to scout what is my opponent up to. I proceeded with more swordsmen. You pretty much want to have at least 5 in most of your games. And so I'm hiring them one after one in the follow by mode. At the same time I was upgrading my main building, my castle, to the tier 2. And here I was a little bit confused what I'm gonna play, but I decided that I'm about to play elves, so I build up an elven tree. And what I'm gonna do in this game is to play the fast elven tech. It is the fancy build order that one of our top players invented and introduced. The idea and the essence of this build is that you take up really quick and miss the higher production. The general play style right now is getting to barracks and going mass archer, or rather than that you can build a factory and go a little bit of tech units. But instead of this or that, I'm gonna build the shrine and build the the fox riders when I will be ready. I will be ready when I'll have the tier 3 castle, but right now I also have a little engagement here on the watchtower, and the 2 goons gonna smash my poor swordsman, so I lose him, and as well I lose the control of that tower. This tower just gives me the vision to control the map and not more than that. So far I also have the tier 3 already, so I'm upgrading my shrine up to the tier 2. To upgrade any production building, you need your main building to be up 1 tier. So when you have a tier 2 castle, you can build the tier 1 shrine, and when you build a tier 3 castle, you can take up 1 tier and get more technology units. What I'm doing right now, so my shrine tier 2 is ready and I'm getting my fox rider. That is the fancy unit, one of my favorites personally. It can hide in the trees, it does incredible amount of damage, and it can also hit while moving. Downside of the fox rider is that she is very fragile, so you can lose it very quickly. By far it is 5-minute mark, so the chests appear, 2 chests at the same time, one closer to me and one closer to my opponent. I am setting my fox on the top of the map. It's not like I really think that I'll be able to steal that chest, but later I will maybe able to steal his mana swell that is indicated on the minimap with that little mana tornado, I guess. You'll see it later anyway, so just in case I'm moving over the chest, but pretty much, yep, it's not there anyway. There is the Orc Rider, Wolf Rider. That unit is not as powerful as the Fox Rider, but it also the other kind of unit. It can strike while moving too, it has a lot of HP, decent armor, so it is more like a normal unit, not like the specialist as the Fox Rider. So what my Fox has done so far is I stole the mana swell, the mana swell, so it's time for me to figure out that I forgot to build the mana tower, so I am limited in mana. What is mana for is when I have more I can use the magic scrolls. Magic scrolls looks pretty much like your regular mobile game mechanics, so you just have something on you which you can use anytime you want. So that can sound like pay to win, but what differs War Legends from the most of the mobile games is that this mechanics here is very strongly integrated into the core gameplay. So even though I might donate $1,000 and have all the scrolls in the world on my account, I won't be able to use the powerful scroll while I didn't collect mana, while I didn't build the mana tower, and right now I didn't do that, so all I have is 50 mana, so I can only use the basic scrolls. But in the game I forgot about that, so I just micro my Fox Rider. The opponent has already built an Aeronaut, so he can take down my Fox rather easily. It is fragile, as I said previously, so still I'm owning his mana swell, and it would be nice for me to also get my own in the bottom of the map. But I'm not going there so far because I saw his army dwelling in the bottom of the map, so I'm scared to move out right now. And I also see him taking back his mana swell. But I also see that all of his army is in the top side right now, so I'm about to take my mana swell and also recapture my vision tower. Observation tower, I guess, I'm not sure what the proper English name is for that building. And I'm taking the elemental, and you can also notice the blinking of the minimap in my base, which means that he's attacking me with something. And now I move the screen on there and we see that he came there with all of his army, but he saw that I already got my princess. The princess is a hero as well as his chief. Chief Grok is the orc hero and the princess is the elven hero. Those are the most powerful things than the normal units. They have passive abilities, they have the active abilities with the cooldown, which is indicated next to her portrait on the right part of the screen. So now it's ready and she can fire the sector of Oros. I guess you'll see it later on. Anyway, for some reason he decided to withdraw from my base. I'm not sure why, because It looks like he could easily took my farms at least. There is just one tower, magic tower, that is defending me. But he didn't know that I was farming the elemental and taking the mana swell. So he could think that my army is coming on him and decided to withdraw. I also retook my second chest with gold and lumber on the 10-minute mark, and the next one will pop up on 15-minute mark, so there's still 5 minutes to go and we have time to take up. And what I see is him attacking me with the bomber, taking down my mana tower immediately, so I lose a bit. And right now he also using the defensive scroll. I using defensive scroll of the other type too, the one which works on buildings. It's called fortification, adding a little more durability on my buildings temporarily. And my opponent sees that I'm coming on him with my army, and he doesn't really have much here, so he decided to step back a little bit. And here where my fox riders shine, because they can follow any unit and attack him on move. And one of the most powerful features about heroes, about this unit, is that it can follow heroes and deny him from retreating. I mean, when they're damaged, because this orc chief has the full HP and just it is a little bit too much, because heroes in War Legends are really powerful, at least this type of heroes, which is bruiser, and not like chief is really high amort, but it can take quite a bit. I was able to dodge his active ability. He cried at me, which makes a lot of magic damage. And the new unit arrives just here. It is the Wind Mage. It is the next unit after the Fox Rider, the highest tier of the units which has been introduced into the game right now. What does Wind Mage do is attacking with this stream of the wind, doing the magic damage and also slaughtering anyone which it impacts on. The animation right now is a little bit broken, because when it's turning away, the wind turning away with it, but it is just the visual effect and they are gonna fix it. Meanwhile, I discovered that my altar of heroes has been destroyed. I was about to add the second hero, the human hero paladin, to be able to tank this chief and the other melee units. But I didn't have hero altar, so I have to build it again. Probably I lost it in the previous attack and didn't notice. So I keep fighting in his base, and it looks pretty much like it is over, but the thing is that in War Legends it's not this easy to end the game just as quick. A little back when I was moving my camera real quick, but not really important. About to be fixed too. Still the game is in the early beta, so we have to be patient to things like that. He keep up getting units, and also his goblin laboratory in the top side of his base, that one with the red roof, is healing the units that come in the aura, but right now there are no units. I keep reinforcing, but I stopped a bit of my archers to acquire the chest in the middle. There will be the big chest in the middle, and one small in the top side, one small on the bottom side. So my opponent decided to switch to the goons instead of making more Axe Masters, which really makes sense because Axe Masters don't really work good against archers. In War Legends you really have to figure out which units work against which. Well, pretty much in any RTS I guess, but this one too, and it is essential, and this is why it's worth playing the game once it is available in your country. Even though all the progress of the accounts will be purged, and we will have the new accounts when the game will release, but what we will keep is our understanding of the game. So I absolutely think it's worth playing. I hope it will be available for more countries really soon. You can also use the VPN and create the account in Google and say that you are Russian or Ukrainian or Armenian or wherever. A lot of post-Soviet countries are in testing, so if you are willing to go the hard way, then feel free to. It is not forbidden. It is just at some moments not that comfortable because not everything is translated yet, but you can just play the game as good as I do in this video. So I am getting my hero altar. It's been built for a long time ago, but what I am doing now is upgrading it to the second tier to be able to get the second hero, because on the basic hero altar you can only get one hero, and I already have my princess, so to get paladin I need this human monument that is standing right there, and also the tier 2 of the altar, which has become a little bit bigger, and now I need to recall that it is ready and I have to press the button. I also don't have enough gold because paladin is of 600 to 400 worth, and I don't have enough gold, but I'm about to get chest in a few minutes, and I can of course just suspend my production for a little bit here. I noticed that my units keep rolling to the enemy's base. He is retaking his mana swell. I will probably take it back because my army should be larger right now. Alright, I see his one, and I'm not about to fight here like at all, because not all my army is in the same place, and I decided to take my princess and harass his base from the bottom side, because his goblin napalm tower is not covering everything from the long-ranged princess, so I keep shooting at his base, at his building. And the passive ability of the princess is that whenever she crits, she increases the chance and the amount of damage from the next crit. So princess is the more worthy when she can attack the same target for a longer time. I also use a circle of power to increase this even more. Not like it was really worth it, honestly, but I just wanted to see what will happen, and we really saw a lot of crits popping out on that building. And I wanna try to finish off the building. I also used the active ability, but it didn't do as much damage, especially to the building, because buildings obviously has the high resist to the magic damage. Alright, I'm about to lose my princess because because she ran into the enemy's army, and there are a lot of X-Masters, and against the big targets like a hero, that unit is quite good. It starts attacking faster whenever he doesn't switch the target, so it is pretty much about the same effect as the princess, but not the crits, not the critical damage, but the attack speed. It increases its attack speed. So the downside of the X-Master that it's not really good against the mass archers and any kind of this big units constructed of big armies constructed of the small units. But under the certain circumstances, it can still work if you mix it with the right magic scroll. And that is pretty much why I stepped back on my own base. I didn't really have anything to fight for in the bottom of the map because he already taken my chest. So why would I fight somewhere else if I can fight on my own base, using the auras of my race buildings and using the aura of my mana tower, which doesn't let him use the scrolls. And here I use the scroll. It is the Circle of Fire, one of the most powerful attack scrolls, which cost me 150 mana pretty much. I had to build a lot for that and also capture mana chest for that. And now all of his units was damaged. He had to use the restoration scroll. That is why he has that green pluses all over the units. But that means that he spent 100 of mana, so he definitely doesn't have the mana for attack scroll. So he can't throw the Circle of Fire on my archers. So that is why I can push right now. I also try to micro a little bit with the princess to make her shoot while moving. Use the active but only hit one X-Masters. Not really fancy, honestly. And here comes the zombie. The very interesting unit, but it won't work while there's just one zombie. But when a zombie finishes off the unit, that unit, if it was alive, not undead, not mech, but alive like archers or healers or whatever, that unit soon will resurrect as the new zombie for the enemy. So you really want to build a lot of zombies, pretty much like undead should work. But my opponent just started to transition into those, and that was too late, so my army is overwhelming him. And what worked in this map and in this game for me is pretty much the correct unit composition, a lot of archers. I added those wind mages when I had to. I also controlled the map really good with my fox rider, and didn't forget about the mana, didn't forget about the chest. So I would say that it is pretty much the gameplay of the real-time strategy game. And it is on my mobile phone, so I played this one from my phone, not like the emulator, not BlueStacks, Nox or wherever. I played it on my phone and I really enjoyed this much, and that is why I decided to share it with you. So feel free to subscribe my channel to tune in for the next gameplays I'll share, and in my turn I'll make sure not to make you wait long. Thank you for watching. My name is Kabi. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.